Welcome back into Palm Springs Stadium for the second game of our 2 games tonight of PSCL play. Next game is the Coyotes against the Haymakers. Welcome into the broadcast. Adam Oppenheim again joined by EJ Sanchez. EJ, this hopes to be another thriller.
Well, we're reaching day 2 of it, Adam, and now these guys have had like a couple of practices under their belt. It's the second game for both of these teams. Both these teams looking to get into the win column, and so you don't want to say the urgency is amplified. We still have a long summer to go, but both of these teams trying to get into the win column and progress their summer, and we're looking forward to a good one after getting a 5-3 game in the first game of this doubleheader.
And it will be the Coyotes who will be the home team in the field. And we will get you some starting lineups. As first for the visiting team, the Haymakers. Hitting first will be James Taylor. Hitting second will be Levi Cook. Park Roeder will hit third. And the cleanup spot's going to be Jose Diaz. Aaron Garcia will hit fifth, followed by Augie Cowan hitting sixth. Carson Ledbetter will hit seventh. 8, 9, 10. Lucas Alberoni, Dom Tolentino, and Aiden Cardoza, who will face Lucas Marr, the right-handed pitcher who goes to Grossmont College and appeared in 4 games this past season. Ending in 2/3, allowed 3 earned runs. Looking to pound the zone early here against this Haymakers team. Both teams 0-1, so EJ, both of them looking to bounce back.
Exactly, and I think you already just alluded to it. The key today for Marr is just going to be living in the zone. You're here to try to force your barrel action for the other team. You want to induce some quick innings, get out of a little bit of this sun, and get your team back to the back rat. So I think it's exactly what the doctor ordered, and as you said, talking about how important and crucial it is to get off to a good start, finding the zone, forcing some swings, and making the other team beat you as James Taylor gets ready to step in.
As you mentioned, EJ, James Taylor will be up first for the Haymakers. One of these teams will end up 0-2 on the season. Another will go back to 500 at day 2 of the PSCL. And the second game here at Palm Springs Stadium with Lucas Marr, the righty, stepping on the mound, 6'4" freshman, 200 pounds. The righty in the stretch and will deliver the first pitch. High and inside, ball 1, and we're underway here on a 90-degree morning, which we'll tune in through afternoon day. 1-0 on Taylor. Here comes the next pitch from Marr. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Blew it by him on a fastball. It's 1-1 here in the top of the first. No score between the Haymakers and the Coyotes. Still not a cloud in the sky, just like our previous game, which ended up being a fantastic game, is the 1-1 pitch, rises high, it's 2-1.
Yeah, Adam, the 6'4", 200-pound frame from Marr makes it easy to see why he got some action in his freshman season. That's a frame that's really projectable at the next level.
It's a 2-1 count for Marr. Definitely has that size as he misses high with that. And it's quickly a hitter's count for James Taylor. It's 3-1. James Taylor attended East Lake High School as he takes a strike, and it's quickly a full count for the first batter, James Taylor. So a deep count. And the first real battle of this game comes with the leadoff man, Taylor, out of Alpine, California. Here's the full count pitch, fouled off, and we stay at 3-2.
Adam, the fastball starting to reach into the low to mid-80s here, 83, 84 miles an hour on a couple of these fastballs. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to it here in a full count and try to just force the action from Taylor.
So we're going to have a second full count delivery from Marr. Kicks the leg, and here he comes home. It's fouled off again. Long first at-bat for James Taylor. That's what you want for your leadoff guy, though.
Exactly. He's seeing a lot of pitches right now, and you're seeing a little bit of the chess match between Marr and Brummett, who's doing the catching, and Taylor. And it looks like that Taylor's been a little bit late, so you don't want to give in to his bat speed here.
Well, will Marr go on another full count pitch? Catches the outside corner, strike 3 called. Taylor disagrees, but will walk back to the dugout after striking out after a tough, long battle at the plate.
And they went right back to that fastball, Adam. In that situation, when you've been pounding fastballs and all they're doing is sending them into the screen and proving that they're having trouble catching up, the last thing you want to do is speed up his bat path and go with an off-speed pitch. A beautiful sequence right there from the battery.
Here is Levi Cook in a bright blue helmet. And we'll take the first pitch high. So let's introduce you to the Coyotes defense. Going in the outfield from left to right, Bruce Slies in left, Dane Richards in center, Dallas Yardley in right field. As it's 1-0 on the second hitter, Levi Cook. He fouls it off back into the netting. Around the diamond from third to first, Dominic Mendoza at the hot corner, Jay Scholes at shortstop, Matthew Figueroa at second, Connor Meager will man first base. Behind the plate, Jackson Brumette. And on the mound is, of course, Lucas Marr, who just finished up his freshman season at Grossmont College and looking to get some big innings during the summer. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Misses outside on the breaking ball and low. Really turned into a fine day for baseball, EJ, and it's not getting too hot yet here in Palm Springs.
No, not at all, Adam. We look forward to seeing more of this weather as the summer progresses.
2-1 pitch. That misses outside. So the count goes to 3-1. Back-to-back batters getting in 3-ball counts is Lucas Marr, who's looking to give his team some distance. Obviously, that's so huge when you don't want to use usually more than 3 arms in a PSCL game that only goes 7 innings. So Cook's in a hitter's count. What will he do with it? It will be a pop-up. It's going to be on the infield. Jay Scholes will call for it, and it will instead be caught by Matthew Figueroa, who ends up running into Scholes right in front of second base. It looked like Scholes called him off, and then Figueroa might have had the better angle at it.
You know, you practice fly ball communication the first day of practice, the first day of spring training, even at the big league level. And that situation, Scholes has to be the one to catch that ball. It sounded like he was calling for it, so Figueroa really lucky that didn't end up in a bad situation there. But nonetheless, 2 outs here.
2 outs, and it brings up Park Roeder, and the first pitch is fired in for a strike right down the middle. So 2 outs in the top of the first, no score. Coyotes and Haymakers. A 1-1 on Roeder. Here it comes home. It misses high, so it's 1-1. Lucas Marr. Fastball in the 80s. And hoping to give 3 to 4 innings of solid work, you would think, EJ?
Absolutely, and you're really aiming for that 3 spot. If you can give 4, you're not only your teammate, but your manager's going to love you to be able to conserve a lot of that pitching.
The 1-1 pitch just catches the outside corner, according to our home plate umpire. So it's 1-2 with 2 outs on Park Roeder. Park Roeder, a two-way player out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And we'll pop that one up down the third base line, but it will go foul. So it stays at 2 strikes.
It's another just situation of being in a 1-2 count. And seeing the batters right now for the Haymakers being a little late on that fastball. If you're Brumette, you might think to just go off the plate here and see if that fastball can have just a little bit of run and tail off the plate.
Mars ahead, 1-2 on Park Roeder. Here it comes. Breaking ball, just got a piece of it, tied him up in on the hands, but he fights it off.
There's really only 2 places you can put that pitch at him. If you're going to go with the off speed after being so dominant with the fastball early, you can bury it in the ground and trust your catcher to block it. Or, and this is the scary one, you have to make sure to get it in on his hands, not allow that barrel to get out and flick it, especially when you're ahead like this, 1-2.
Hanging breaking balls is sometimes the demise of pitching. Still 2 strikes, though, on Park Roeder. Been some tough outs from Mars so far. Looking to go 1-2-3, though. That's a liner. It's going to be over Figueroa's head into right field. It's a 2-out knock for Park Roeder. And the first base runner aboard due to Park Roeder and the first hit of the game. Really not even a bad spot for that pitch.
No, it wasn't.
Didn't barrel it up completely.
He went right back in on the hands, and that just shows the strength there of Park Roeder. It was a fastball that got in, and at that point, He's just trying to make something happen and put a ball in play. And, Adam, we talked about it in the first game today. Good things happen when you put the ball in play.
Here's Jose Diaz in the cleanup spot. We'll take the first pitch outside for ball one. So a strikeout, a pop-up, and then a base hit for Park Roeder. A runner on first, 2 outs, top of the first. 1-0 on Diaz. Here's the next pitch. Catches the bottom of the zone, strike one. Great location from Lucas Marr on a fastball. Jose Diaz from Desert Hot Springs, California, going to College of the Desert. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two. Out ahead of an off-speed pitch.
Now, again, this opens up your arsenal right now. If you're Marr, you can go back after getting what you think is a bad swing, or you can go back to the fastball after it shows that he was out in front.
Lucas Marr set with Roeder on first base. Roeder's going to take off for second, stepping off, and now getting to second base is Park Roeder. It looked like Marr was trying to make a decision, stepped off way too late, and decided not to make the throw. And Roeder off second base quite a bit now, but in scoring position. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Great block behind the plate by Brumette.
So if you're asking why Marr just didn't immediately step off, you don't want to get called for a balk there and think that you'd be a little jittery with one of your movements. So he just took maybe a little longer stepping off, but he wanted to make sure that he made that movement, but Roeder just got too good of a jump.
Roeder in scoring position for Diaz. That one gets by Brumette. Advancing to third is Roeder, who's going to take a turn and hold up there, but is now 90 feet away from the Haymakers, taking an early lead after Marr had the first 2 outs pretty handily.
There's really all you could do there if you're Brumette. He's set up right down the middle in the box, and the ball ends up just a little, about 6 inches from the right of the left-handed batter, or the right-handed batter's box, and it just makes it so difficult to block, especially when you start to miss locations, horizontally.
Jose Diaz will face a 2-2 count. With 2 outs, here's the pitch. Fouled off. Stays alive with 2 strikes. Diaz, the lefty, 6'1", 205. And looking to drive home the first run in this game between the Haymakers and the Coyotes in the top of the first. Marr throwing a lot of 2-strike pitches. Here comes another. It's in the dirt. It's ball 4. Diaz is aboard on a long battle with Lucas Marr. He wins the battle, and it's runners on the corners with 2 outs.
And not only that, Adam, that's his 26th pitch of the inning. So regardless, we were talking about how important it is to get length out of your starter today. Throwing a 30-pitch first inning is not exactly where you want to be in terms of planning your pitching staff for the rest of the day.
Here's Aaron Garcia, who takes a first-pitch strike. It seems like Lucas Marr is throwing a lot of first-pitch strikes, but just can't put the Haymakers away with 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's those off-speed pitches that need to be just a tad bit sharper if you're Marr.
0-1 on the way to Garcia. It's in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Brumette. He saved a run.
And that's a situation, Adam, where, the catcher, you want to be, technically perfect with your blocking, but when a ball bounces that far out in front, really all you can do is throw your body on it. Textbook right there by Brumette.
Garcia will take the next one high. And it moves the count to 2-1. Two and one with runners on the corners, 2 outs, top of the first. Here comes the pitch. That misses outside, and it's 3-1. Another hitter's count for the Haymakers. Marr has struggled with command a little bit, pitching at Grossmont. Walked 7 batters in an inning and 2/3. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Misses inside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks. And just as we thought it, Lucas Marr could go 1, 2, 3. The bases are loaded with 2 outs.
So this is a good move right here from Brumette to just go talk to his pitcher and settle him down. And Adam, as much as you want to say he lost command, you have to give a lot of credit to both Diaz and Garcia on both of those sequences. These pitches aren't ridiculously off the plate. These aren't like automatic takes. These are situations where they're not expanding their zone and they're making Marr come back into the zone with him, and he just hasn't done it. So you have to admire the approach right now of the middle of this lineup. And a big opportunity here for Augie Cowan.
Augie Cowan with the bases loaded. Roeder stands on third. Diaz is on second. Garcia's on first. And the first pitch to Cowan. Here it comes home. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Huge first pitch for Lucas Marr after the meeting with Brumette. A chance for the Haymakers to throw an early haymaker here in the first. It's 0-1. That one misses away from the zone. The count's even at 1-1. Lucas Marr working fairly quickly. Just stepping off the mound for a moment and now back on. The big righty will come home with the pitch. It's taken upstairs. The count moves to 2-1.
That's another example here for Cowan. He's not letting Marr get away with just nibbling around the zone. He wants to make sure he comes right back into the zone and gets his ace swing off.
2-1 and needs to come home with the strike. That pitch catches the inside corner, strike two. Beautiful pitch. It's 2-2 with 2 outs. Bases full of Haymakers. Top of the first. Can the Haymakers strike first? Lucas Marr will step and deliver home. Off-speed pitch just misses low, and the count moves full. Lucas Marr thought he got the call from our home plate umpire, but it looked like it just misses below the zone.
Just by a little bit. As a curveball, and we haven't seen Marr land too many of them thus far, and if you ask him, he really wanted that call.
3-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded for the Haymakers. Runners are on the move. It's fouled off back into the netting. Cowan with a big-time battle in a situation that's so big in a 7-run game. Lucas Marr has thrown a lot of pitches, but trying to get out of the first without any damage. Here comes the full count pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Blew a fastball by him. And Lucas Marr strands the bases loaded. And the Haymakers get 0 in the first. Good job by Lucas Marr getting out of the jam. We head to the bottom of the first. No score between the Haymakers and the Coyotes. We'll be right back as you're watching PSCO Baseball.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is how we rate with you. Learn more at eisenhowerhealth.org/awards.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Welcome back to PSCO Baseball. Bottom of the first, Adam Oppenheim, E.J. Sanchez. Lucas Marr strands the bases low in the top of the first, so the Coyotes, the home team, will now come up to hit. And let's get you their starting lineup. Dominic Mendoza will lead off. Jackson Brumette will hit second. Bruce Sly will hit third. In the cleanup spot is Nicholas Basalovsky. Connor Meager will hit fifth. Jay Scholes will hit sixth, followed by Dane Richards hitting seventh. Mason Rodweather will hit 8th. Dallas Yardley hitting 9th. And rounding out the lineup will be Matthew Figueroa facing Joe Dalton, the lefty from Oxnard, California. and goes to Oxnard College. So it will be Mendoza stepping into the box for the Coyotes. And the first pitch misses upstairs, ball one. EJ, that was a super interesting top of the first, though.
Yeah, 38 pitches that Marr had to throw in that first inning, and we talked about it right before he went out there, that it's important to live in the zone and just force barrels to move, and he ends up going into deep counts with each batter.
The 1-0 pitch, it misses above the zone again. It's 2-0, and it's kind of interesting. Joe Dalton has the two-seam changeup curveball, but where he releases the ball seems like it's so far behind him. I'm interested in your opinion on this. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Once again, just high. It's 3-0.
Well, it'll be especially effective when you're talking about that two-seam. When you're releasing so far back, it almost creates a lot more of that whip action. And a two-seam that's already trying to design to go away from a right-handed hitter is going to have just a little extra on it.
That pitch misses high and inside, ball four. It's a 4-pitch walk for Dominic Mendoza, so not the start Dalton wanted. So next up is Jackson Brumett, the catcher, hitting second. Here's the first pitch. Misses well high. Ball one. So 5 straight balls to start for Dalton. None of them particularly close to the zone besides one.
Yeah, both of these pitchers really struggling to find their release points right now.
The 1-0, that finally finds the zone for a strike. 1-2 an off-speed pitch, and it evens the count at 1-1. No outs, bottom of the first.
It's important to note here that Joe Dalton is committed to College of the Desert. He hasn't even played his season there, so it'll be, this is a good experience for him, especially playing in this Palm Springs weather, to be used to what he's going to face when he heads up to COD.
A lot of COD players here in Palm Springs. As Mendoza takes off for second, here's the throw down. It's late. Dominic Mendoza got a great jump. And really no chance for Alberoni to catch him behind the plate. And a runner in scoring position for the Coyotes. So the Haymakers couldn't take advantage in the first. Can the Coyotes with the runner in scoring position? The 2-1 pitch. Catches the top part of the zone, strike two. Let's get you the defensive positions for the Haymakers. Augie Cowan's in left. James Taylor's in center. Dom Tolentino is in right field. As it's 2-2. Here comes the pitch. Misses inside on Brumett. Around the infield from third to first. Jose Diaz at the hot corner. Levi Cook at shortstop. Aiden Cardoza at second base. Aaron Garcia at first. Lucas Alberoni behind the plate, of course, catching Joe Dalton, the left-handed starter. Here's the full count pitch. Misses outside, ball four. Really good take by Jackson Brumett. And it's first and second, no outs for the Coyotes, and they're in business early.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth there, Adam, that's not an egregiously missed pitch, but it is a ball. And in that situation where you can be thinking protect, Brumett does a nice job of just letting that go by and setting at the table for the middle of this order, and Bruce Sly is going to have a big opportunity here to do some damage and allow these Coyotes to possibly get off to a really good start.
It is Bruce Sly with first and second, no outs. First pitch once again. Misses high. There's been a lot of pitches just outside the zone, not particularly close, and that certainly helps out a hitter. Then you're just looking for a pitch in the zone. And once again, he's falling behind now 2-0.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, when you're talking about a hitter, you can get almost greedy in this sense where you don't feel like you have to cover a lot of the plate, because if a pitcher's not consistently hitting that part of the plate, then you don't have to expand your zone.
A 2-0, once again, not in the zone. It's 3-0. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Misses well high. Ball four, and the bases are loaded. A walk by Mendoza, a walk by Burnett, and a walk by Sly. 3 straight walks, and the bases are loaded with no outs in the first.
That's a spot that the Haymakers didn't anticipate being in early with Joe Dalton. I think that's a really good timeout taken there by Lucas Alberoni, just trying to settle his guy down. Even if there's really nothing mechanically that you can comment on, at the very least, you slow down the momentum.
And the first pitch misses, ball 1. Looks like Tyredo came in to run at second base for Jackson Burnett. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Does not catch the zone again. That was a little bit closer, and it's 2-0. And we're going to have a mound meeting. EJ, what's the message here after 3 straight walks and a 2-0 count, bases loaded, no outs?
Well, because Alberoni took the timeout to just calm down his guy, this might be a situation where now you can start talking, about mechanics. Is your landing spot being okay? Is your release point inconsistent? This is the thing where you can see after as many pitches as he's thrown, now you might start to see a pattern if you're a member of the coaching staff. So not only is it mechanics, again, it's another chance to just settle, your pitcher down, because you always tell pitchers, and pitchers hate it, hey, find it. Hey, throw a strike. And obviously pitchers aren't trying to throw balls at him, but there can be some help being delivered to Dalton here. And he's still not completely out of this, Adam. No runs have come across yet. You're a couple of good pitchers and a ground ball away from minimizing this and keeping this game, close for your team.
Wasilowski at the plate, the 2-0. Catches the outside corner. Pretty generous call that time, I would say, by our home plate umpire.
That looked to be about 6 to 8 inches off the plate, but in this situation, you want guys to be swinging the bat. And as you said earlier, nobody came to play summer ball to walk.
And the 2-1 pitch misses above the zone. It's 3-1. Bases full of Coyotes. Mendoza at third, Tyredo at second base, and Sly at first base. All walks. Will this be another one? Bolofsky will get the 3-1 pitch. Swung right through it. It's 3-2. And that was a similar pitch to what was called a strike, so that time you have to swing.
Absolutely, and, I don't mind that from, Basilowski there. He wants to get his ace swing off, and even though he missed it, it was an ace swing. He was right on time, got his hands moving, just came up empty.
Full count pitch with the bases loaded well inside, and it hit Basilowski, and it forces home a run. 1-0 Coyotes. 3 walks and a hit by pitch, and the Coyotes lead 1-0 in the first. And it brings up Connor Meager from San Antonio, Texas. And here's the first pitch to Meager. It misses high, ball 1. EJ, you know this guy.
Yeah, I do. He's a Concordia University, Texas Tornado. He spent his first 2 seasons over there, and a guy that's looking for some quality reps here in Palm Springs. The Tornadoes coming off a conference championship win in their last year in the American Southwest Conference. So Meager looking to make a stand and find his way into the starting lineup next season.
The 1-0 pitch misses well high. Lucas Alberoni makes a nice catch, 2-0. And I heard they have a great guy behind the plate.
Well,
that's the word.
Yeah, they heard it through the grapevine, Adam. I'm not one to speculate. He is second all time in caught stealing, so I'm not one to talk about. But that guy certainly sounds like a great addition to a Palm Springs staff.
The 2-0 pitch. It catches the upper part of the zone, strike 1.
Again, not at liberty to say. But, we've done our research on Connor Meager for sure. We have insider information.
First-hand sources, some may say.
Competitive journalism, nothing but the best here in Palm Springs, Adam.
Nothing but the best baseball either, as the 2-1 pitch misses again high, and it's 3-1. Seems like every time that Joe Dalton has been able to zero in the zone, he's thrown the next pitch is just well off the mark, you can say.
If you're Connor, especially with that in mind, you can take as good of a hack as you want as long as it's in your zone.
3-1 pitch. That is not in his zone. That's in the zone above the plate, and it forces in another run. 4th walk of the inning.
We're starting to get some action now in the bullpen as Meager will get his courtesy runner, and You know, he didn't have to take the bat off his shoulder but one time, come up empty, and you still end up with an RBI.
And it will be Cadence Varner as the courtesy runner for Meager. So not out of the game, just a runner. And here's the first pitch in, and it misses again to Jay Scholze. Joe Dalton got to feel real alone on that mound, even more than usual, you know?
It's a lonely feeling when you know you're trying to do your best, and, you know, as he misses again here, we had talked about it. A pitcher's not going out there saying, hey, you know, I'm going to try to set this up. No, he's obviously up there trying to pound the zone. But for one reason or another, Adam, whether it be mechanics, whether it can be, you know, something between the ears, this is a situation and a growing moment here for Joe Dalton. He's a young player and a chance to try to find his way out of some jams.
2-0 pitch. Again off the mark.
You see from his body language right now, Adam, like he's saying to himself he doesn't know what's going on. And, you know, you can talk about the delivery and what needs to go right, but at this point, it's about just trying something else because whatever's happening so far is not where he wants it to be.
And that's called a strike on the inner part of the plate. It was actually close to the zone then, I thought. Just Alberoni dropped it and made it look like it was practically in the dirt. It was not. So base is still full of Coyotes. They've scored 2 in the first, both on free passes, a hit by pitch, and a walk. I guess a hit by pitch isn't so much a free pass because you are getting beamed at the end of the day.
You're still paying for it.
The 3-1 pitch, that misses high and tight. Ball 4, and another run is walked in. So Sly comes to the plate. Boslowski will scamper over to second base, Varner to second, and it brings up Dane Richards, the 7th hitter of the inning. You wonder how much longer the Coyotes are going to let Joe Dalton go. We're going to have a meeting on the mound.
And our live chat being utilized right now, Adam. 50 viewers with a lot of love coming from Augie Cowan. And, you know, this, as we mentioned, Connor Meager out of Concordia, Texas. He's getting a lot of love in the chat from Nick Zamora, whoever, Mason Vasquez, Daniel Bajorquez, Otto Franz, everybody trying to check in. And, you know, we welcome everybody to be a part of, you know, the broadcast up here with us, Adam, fan engagement. We just love everything that comes with being a part of the PSCL, and it looks like that will be the day for Joe Dalton.
That's going to be a rough day for Joe Dalton, who was not able to record out, is responsible for the bases loaded. 5 walks and hit by pitch. We'll tell you who the new Coyotes pitcher is right after this. Bottom of the first, 2-0. The Coyotes lead the Haymakers. We'll be right back as you're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL YouTube network.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Like a family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Welcome back to the bottom of the first. New pitcher in is Park Roeder, who's third in the lineup for the Haymakers, and now will come into pitch. Start off as the designated hitter. Pitches at Umpqua Community College. And is going to face Dane Richards with the bases loaded, no outs in the first. With the Coyotes already leading 3-0. Really tough spot to come in. A pressure spot. Here's the first pitch in. It's low, ball one.
And Adam, at this point in the game, you know, you don't want to be that guy if you're Park Roeder, but at this point, none of these 3 runs are yours on base. At this point, you're looking to just stay in the zone and force some sort of action. You know, your defense has been out there for nearly 20 minutes, and they're looking to just find some reason to still take their steps as the strike comes across, and they're just looking for something to do out there, to just put it bluntly. They want to be able to make some plays and start to help out, you know, this pitching staff and get back in the dugout and start getting something going offensively.
Well, the 1-0 pitch was a strike, so Basilovsky's at third, Varner's at second, Scholes at first. That pitch is fouled off by Richards. Coming in at the high 80s on the fastball. 88 from our guy Ethan Gomolka. Rules analyst, analytics guy, Gene Sterator with a little extra oomph.
A little bit of flair for a guy that spends 6 days a week in the gym.
The 1-2 pitch. It's on the ground of shortstop Cook, who's going to toss over to second for one. On the first, double play. A huge 6-4-3 double play as a run comes in to score. But Cook to Cardoza to Garcia. And they turn the twin killing. And there's 2 outs in the first. So Basilovsky comes in to score. Varner advances to third. Scholes is cut down. Runner on third for Mason Rowetter. First pitch into him. Misses low.
You know, if you're wondering why we're, you know, having a little bit of fun up here, after doing an outstanding job coming in, Park Roeder is, you know, a little demonstrative right now. He's letting everybody know how he's feeling after, you know, some of these pitches. And it's not like sometimes it's not a purposeful thing, Adam. It's just the reaction that you have when you're torquing your body in that way.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting the upper 80s, which is pretty much as high as we've seen today. At 88 on his fastball. It's 1-0. Here's the next pitch. It's in for a strike on the outside corner. That's a beautiful pitch. Is that hit 90 on the dot? Again, one of the best statisticians in the business, Ethan Gomolka.
They don't call him that for nothing, Adam.
Future superstar. Here's the next pitch. Misses high. It's 2-1. I mean, he is giving it everything he has, Park Roeder.
And, you know, you got to love it, too. I mean, your team can get behind that. You're down 4-0 in the first inning. It's a warm day. You know, it wasn't the greatest start in the world for Joe Dalton. If you show just a little bit of emotion, get the guys back behind you, this game can flip on its head in a moment.
Here's the next pitch, 2-1. Catches the zone for a strike. So it's 2 strikes on Mason Rowetter. 4 runs in the inning on 0 hits. It was 5 walks and a hit by pitch. Joe Dalton's going to be charged with 4 runs, possibly 5, depending on what happens in this at-bat, and the runner on third being Varner. 2-2, and time is called by Mason Rowetter. And it's going to reset. And you think that might have a little bit of effect on the hitter, the pitcher making some noise after throwing it, but, I mean, he's giving it all he has in his arm right now.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, you're talking about an intimidation factor.
Park Roeder on the 2-2, blew it right by him on a fastball at 90. What a job by Park Roeder. Only ends up letting 1 more go across after the bases were full with no outs. But the Coyotes strike for 4 in the first. We head to the top of the second. Haymakers look to make an early comeback. Stay with us as you're listening to PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Like a family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Back to Palm Springs Stadium. 4-0, the Coyotes lead the Haymakers. As Lucas Marr will step back out on the mound after it was a struggle from Joe Dalton, ends up giving 4 earned runs without recording an out. And the first pitch in is ripped down the third base line, but foul from Carson Ledbetter. Hitting it in the 7th spot, the EH extra hitter for today, EJ.
So it's equally as important as it was for Roeder to come in and throw strikes. It's equally important right now for Marr. After your offense, granted, didn't explode offensively with the bats, they just took their walks. It's important here as they deliver the 0-1 for a ball. It's important here for Marr to equally get a quick inning, because the most demoralizing thing as a team is when you give up runs and aren't able to get any back right away.
Especially in a 7-inning game, a 4-run inning goes a long way, and maybe even shorter because that inning took a while. As that's going to be floated into left field, it's going to get down a leadoff base hit for Carson Ledbetter. So the first runner is aboard of the second for the Haymakers.
Now you might have the guy coming up to the plate, Adam, that as much as Joe Dalton didn't enjoy his day, I'm sure that Lucas Alberoni is going to have a tough day in this Palm Springs heat.
And behind the plate, and we'll get the first pitch from Marr. That misses away from the zone. For ball 1, it's 1-0. No outs. Top of the second. Lucas Marr did struggle in the first, but got out of it with a big K on Augie Cowan. That pitch just misses below the zone, and it's 2-0.
This game might come down to, which pitching staff can hit the zone more consistently, Adam.
That feels like what it's going to be, EJ. The 2-0. Again, outside, and really, a lot of the balls have just been non-competitive pitches, and that's what really hurts you as a pitcher. Stuff close to the zone, you can get players to chase. Maybe not if they're down 3-0 in the count, but if it's a 2-strike count, because that's a 4-pitch walk as it misses in on the hands of Alberoni. So it's first and second, no outs. And I'm not sure exactly when this game started, but this has been a pretty long first inning plus.
41 minutes for the first inning.
It's a long time. And we're also going to have a courtesy runner. We will get to you as soon as we have it.
It's important here for Tolentino now to not expand his zone. You're chasing 4 runs. At this point, you're counting base runners.
Here's the first pitch in to Dom Tolentino. It's EJ Tokashimo, the pinch runner. Here's the next pitch. It's in there for a strike. Really good location that time from Lucas Marr. So Ledbetter on second, Tokashimo on first base. With Dom Tolentino, the right fielder, at the plate for the Haymakers. The next pitch just barely misses the zone. Or rather, it did hit the zone.
Count was 1 and 2 as we just got from the home plate umpire.
1 and 2, so we corrected on that. First and second, no outs. 1-2 pitch from Marr. Breaking ball in the dirt. It got by Brumette, and both runners are going to advance. 2 in scoring position with no outs. And you get both these runners in scoring position, the lead's suddenly cut in half.
And that's what I said, that if Roeder could come in and minimize the damage, which he did, you only allow one of those runners to come in a bases loaded, no-out situation. You keep your team in it, and it's not like Marr was coming in pounding the zone consistently. So that's even more, it points more to the job that Roeder just did coming in, because your team isn't out of it. Now you have an opportunity, to get some back here in the top half of the second.
Tolentino at the plate faces a 2-2 count on Lucas Marr, top of the second. His team down 4-0, and it's going to be cut into now as that's going to fall into center field. It's a base hit. One run comes around to score. Here's the throw of the plate, not in time. Now the throw down to second is not in time either as Tolentino takes second. The throw-in from center field from Richards went all the way to home to Brumette, and taking second was Tolentino. It's going to be a base hit, advances to second on the throw. As Ledbetter comes in to score, Tokenshimo comes in to score, and it's a 4-2 ball game.
Exactly what we were just talking about, Adam. And, this is almost a defensive mental error more than an actual error. He doesn't hit a cutoff man in center field, did Richards, and it allows another runner in scoring position, still with no outs. But what a huge swing of the bat there from Tolentino.
James Taylor takes the first pitch inside, ball 1. Looked like it did catch quite a bit of the zone, though. 1-0 on the leadoff hitter, Taylor, who struck out looking in the first. Take the next pitch outside the zone. It's 2-0. Rather, it's Aiden Cardoza now at the plate. My apologies. The 10 hitters is throwing me off, as that's going to be looped over the head of Mendoza. It's going to be a base hit. Tolentino rounds third. He's going to score standing up. It's a 4-3 ball game just like that. The Haymakers have responded in a big way.
He doesn't try to do too much with this pitch, Adam. This is a pitch that's tailing off the end of the plate, and what Cardoza does, he just shortens up and understands if he can get a barrel to this ball, he can find some green grass, and it's exactly what we've just been talking about, a huge response right here from the Haymakers as they throw one back at the Coyotes.
Now here is James Taylor in the top of the lineup, takes the first pitch. Just a little bit high, about mid-chest level, and it's 1-0. With Cardoza on first base after an RBI single. Single, walk, single, single is how the second inning has gone for the Haymakers. After giving up 4 to the Coyotes in the bottom of the first, as that pitch misses outside. They've responded with 3 in the second and still no outs in the inning. Two 2-0 on James Taylor, the center fielder. Looking to continue the momentum. That pitch catches the outside corner. Strike 1.
And just as the Haymakers were waiting a ton out in the field, now the Coyotes are starting to feel this heat.
The 2-1 pitch is above the zone. It's 3-1, a hitter's count. A whole lot of pitches thrown in this game, I will say. There has not been a ton of balls put in play.
86 pitches have already come across the plate, Adam.
The 3-1 pitch is inside. That's number 87. And number 87 drills number 7. It's a hit by pitch. And it's first and second with no outs. And now we're going to have a meeting on the mound. This time with Lucas Marr. You wonder if the Haymakers turn to the bullpen. So now we should be at probably an hour of game time, wouldn't you say, EJ?
We're just coming in on it. This game started out at 11:36, 12:27 here Pacific time, and both of these teams, for different reasons, finding themselves with, not the pitching performances that they were anticipating coming in today. But, Adam, that's what summer ball is for, a chance to refine your stuff, and it's not where you have to be perfect, although all these guys would love to have some success. They want to be able to try new things out, and change whatever mentalities that they want to over the summer in games that don't necessarily count towards, their prep careers or working for scholarships, things of that nature. You have a chance to work on it that's as inconsequential as it can be.
Agree with all those statements, EJ. Calling you the Al Michaels in the chat. How about that?
I mean, you gotta Aiden Ryan. You gotta love the enthusiasm and the love that we've gotten up here in the broadcast booth, Adam. I mean, I believe you got a comment saying how your voice is sounding, how you're looking. It's a good day for everybody, up here in the booth.
Nothing like a good old compliment. It never fails. Here's the first pitch into Levi Cook. It's popped up on the infield. Matthew Figueroa will go out into the outfield grass and make the catch for the first out. So important out for Lucas Marr after a mound visit. And it's one where the runners stay put. And that's the second pop-up to second base for Levi Cook.
And both times, Cook was in a good spot. I mean, he's going into a situation where he's playing with house money and he can have an opportunity to drive a guy in with no outs. And in this situation, or in the first situation, he had a 3-1 count and he just lifted it. So, Cook probably not going to be ecstatic with himself over the result of his first two at-bats.
Here is Park Roeder, who's going to be coming into pitch after he finished off the first inning. First pitch misses just away from the zone. Ball one. It's 1-0. First and second, no outs. Rather, one out. Cardoza at second base. James Taylor at first. The 1-0 pitch. Catches the outside black of the plate. Strike one.
And going back to it, Cook, when he popped that ball up at him, he's coming into a situation where Marr hasn't been pounding the zone. It's a first pitch swinging out of the timeout. It's a strange time to be letting yourself loose.
The 1-1 pitch, it misses low. It's 2-1, but Marr looks like he has a little bit more feel on the mound right now, has just a little better body language, you can say.
It's noticeable.
And once again, this happens to pitchers at all levels. The body language is very, very clear. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's going to be lined into right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Coming around to score is Cardoza. Taylor will be held at third base. And it's an RBI single for Park Roeder. Helps his own cause and ties up the ball game. The Coyotes scored 4 in the first. The Haymakers answer with 4 in the second. And we're all tied at 4 here after just an inning and a third.
Adam, if you would have asked me what the situation was going to be like after we saw the end of Joe Dalton's day, somebody might not have believed you. But this says a lot about what this Haymakers team can do. They took their patient at-bats, and they've come through with some clutch hits when the time has called for it. And not only that have you tied it up, you've had an opportunity to take the lead when you were out there for nearly 35 minutes.
And we're going to have a courtesy runner as well for Park Roeder. And it will be number 15. Is taking off for second. Is he? Throw down a second. It's in time. Great throw by Jackson Brumette behind the plate. The throw out Roca. So they try to sub in the runner. It ends up backfiring. Joseph Roca. And there's now 2 outs in the inning on the caught stealing.
Boy, how good has the catcher play been in these first 2 games in the PSCL?
It really has been terrific. Jose Diaz takes the 1-0 inside. It's 2-0. But really, I mean, is that 4 caught stealings today, maybe?
Has a catcher ever done anything wrong, Adam?
It depends who you're asking. But for today, I mean, the catchers have just been fantastic. I mean, there is no doubt about that. The pop time, the release, and the tag on the other end has been great, but the throws have just been in a great spot. You're talking about being a catcher, obviously, hitting is the bonus. If you have a strong arm behind the plate, that can get you to play in a lot of places.
Exactly.
It's 2-1 on Diaz, runner at second. That pitch is just a bit outside. Coming home to score is Taylor on the wild pitch. That pitch looked like it just slipped out of the hand of Marr. That's going to cost him the run and the lead. A 5-run inning by the Haymakers. They kind of were just dodging and dodging punches, and then threw the haymaker, and it's 5-4.
How long have you been sitting on that one?
Ever since I knew a team was called the Haymakers. And we'll actually move on to the next inning because of the 5-run inning. So it's going to be 5-4 as we head into the bottom of the second inning. Haymakers now lead the Coyotes. We'll be back for the bottom of the second right after this. You're listening to PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular. Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular. And Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Whether you're building, renovating, landscaping, refreshing, renovating, or refreshing, simply researching. Rent the right size tools for your size job. Rent the right size tools in store for your size jobs. Or in app. In store, at online, or in app. At Sunbelt Rentals. Where tools rule.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
State Farm is there. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It will be Dallas Yardley leading off the bottom of the second for the Coyotes after the rollover in the top of the second. With the 5 spot put up by the Haymakers, Coyotes scored 4 in the bottom of the first. That was answered by a 5-running by the Haymakers. Can the Coyotes grab the lead back? It's going to be started off by number 1, the right fielder, Dallas Yardley, who's going to face Park Roeder, who got out of the first inning, allowing just one more run across. Run was not charged to him. It was charged to Joe Dalton. First pitch. It's on the outside corner for a strike. Real nice pitch by Park Roeder. Not a whole lot of strikes thrown in this game. I think we're nearing 100 total pitches in the game, and it's only been an inning and a half. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Fastball had some extra oomph on it at 88.
For whatever sound that he's making over there, regardless, I mean, Roeder has certainly picked up the pace of this game. That's really all you could have asked for coming off of the start from Thomas.
Park Roeder will deliver the fastball in on the hands. Fouled it off. And it's 0-2 on Dallas Yardley.
We have an update from the turf field, one of the backfields, since we have 2 available here in the PSCL. Jay Cicinelli letting us know that the Lumberjacks in China and MLB China tied at 1-1 in the top of the 5th.
Exciting game. Bunch of exciting games here in the PSCL. That pitch misses away from the zone. It's 1-2. Dallas Yardley at the plate from Beaver, Utah, and is committed to Southern Utah University. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Another fastball. And it just misses the outside part of the plate. It's 2-2.
As much as Roeder's come in and settled the pace down at him, you wonder how long he can go with a high 80s fastball like that. I don't think he was planning to give out much length today.
He's going 100% for every pitch. 2-2. Misses away from the zone on Alberoni, who has that bright green neon sleeve on his right arm. I feel like that makes it easier to see the signs, I would assume, EJ. Is the reason for that?
Exactly, and you can also, make the case that the pitcher just needs a good landing spot if he's trying to not have anything blend in, and Roeder's done a good job of it so far.
Roeder on a full count pitch with no outs in the second. Catches the bottom of the zone. Strike 3 called. Dallas Yardley strikes out looking on a pitch that was just outside the zone, but our home plate umpire rings up Yardley for a big first out in the bottom of the second.
We talked about after your team gives you a 5 spot after being down 4-0, it's all the more important to throw up a 0 in the next inning, and a backwards K is one of the things you can do to make sure that your team stays in it and stays ready to go and head back to the bat racks.
It's the 10-hitter, Matthew Figueroa, up next. Takes the first pitch. That pitch is 3 or 4 balls outside. Matthew Figueroa, the second baseman today. Currently uncommitted. The next pitch catches the outside corner, strike 1.
You have to think that Roeder, if pitching's the direction he chooses to go in his next steps, he definitely profiles as a reliever. Just with his motions, and you just said how much he gives on each pitch, it doesn't look like he's trying to navigate through a lineup. He wants to go after hitters and quick.
That's a beautiful fastball on the 1-1 pitch. Not much you can do with that if you're Figueroa, except maybe just get a piece of it. Instead, watches it go right by him for a strike on the corner. It's 1-2 on Matthew Figueroa. 1 out, bottom of the second. 5-4 Haymakers. 4 in the first for the Coyotes, 5 in the second for the Haymakers. Catches the bottom of the zone on a 1-2 pitch, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts looking for Park Roeder.
This is where Roeder's demeanor and just frankly high 80s fastball is starting to start play into the approach that the Coyotes weren't expecting. They were able to just to look at pitches and be rewarded for it. Now they've looked at a couple of pitches late in counts, and it hasn't come up the same way it did in the first.
And he hasn't thrown a lot of breaking balls either, and maybe realizing the Coyotes not able to catch up to his fastball, so why change something if you're on the mound?
Absolutely no reason to.
With 2 outs, it brings up Dominic Mendoza in the top of the lineup. First pitch fastball, it's in for a strike. Mendoza walked and came around to score in the first inning. Part of the 3 straight walks to start the game for the Coyotes. And then it was hit by pitch and 2 more walks. But after that, Park Roeder was able to shut down this Coyotes lineup in the first. 0-1 on Mendoza. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
We talked about demeanor in the last game, Adam, and when you're talking about body language of a pitcher, Park Roeder is a guy right now that no batter wants to face. He is just finding a rhythm that is intimidating nearly to a batter at this stage.
The 0-1 pitch was a breaking ball. Here's the 0-2 to strike out the side. Misses outside. He really wants it. But that was one of the first breaking pitches we've seen. It came at 78. I think possibly it was a changeup.
It's a changeup that he just pulled a little bit away from his body. And it's when you've been throwing that many fastballs in that situation, that's what happens.
It's a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Park Roeder against Mendoza in the second. The 1-2 pitch just misses the outside corner.
You saw the near jog off from like 70% of the field right there. We've seen that pitch be called a couple of times, but it's new life and an opportunity here for Mendoza.
And that one looked like it was just a little bit more off the plate, but it's 2-2 with 2 outs. Roeder comes to the plate and misses high. It's a 3-2 count with 2 outs. Dominic Mendoza, the third baseman for the Coyotes today, is battling at the dish against Park Roeder, who's done an excellent job in relief of Joe Dalton, who struggled starting the game for the Coyotes. The full count pitch misses high, ball 4. The fastball misses, and a runner is aboard against Roeder with 2 outs here in the second.
Just so strange looking at that line score right now, Adam. 5 runs on 5 hit for 2 and 2 errors for the Haymakers. That's normal. When you see 4 runs on no hits with no errors, it makes you question what happened there in that first inning. I think your scorebook is saying the same thing.
Yeah, it is interesting scoreline, but you see something new every day. And certainly every game brings a different set of weird, funky things, but that's the game of baseball. Runner takes off for second. Here's the throw down. It's not going to be in time. Throw was late. Mendoza steals second base with Jackson Burnett at the plate, who took the first pitch, I believe, for a ball.
I was just going to say, Adam, that Mendoza stole in the first, and it was a little bit different situation. In this situation, when you're trailing a run, you still have the top of your lineup up. If for some reason you don't steal a base and brum it, it's a good time to run, and Mendoza wasted no time. And even though it was a good throw from Alberoni, really nothing you could do after that jump.
Jackson Burnett walked and scored back in the first. Another runner in scoring position. That pitch is a good one. On the outside, Black, and it's 1-1 on Jackson Burnett. Both catchers have had a lot of work. A bunch of teams aggressive on the base pass. It's 1-1 from Park Roeder. Take a long set and deliver to home plate. In for a strike. He's really been painting the corners and done a good job not putting the ball over the middle of the plate.
This sounds strange to say, but when you have a runner on base now it forces you to almost be a little more precise. You have to worry about a runner. You have to check him. It almost allows you to refocus your mechanics rather than when nobody's on, you can do a little bit more with your body.
Park Roeder, the set and now the fire home. It's fouled off down the first base line. Little flare shot. That was going left to right and was pretty much fouled the entire way. So we stay at 1-2 with 2 outs.
The lack of off-speed pitch is not present there as the slider comes in, and Roeder now is starting to rely on that. He's about to start facing these guys for the second time, wants to make sure that he can go to that slider if he needs to.
Yeah, if you only use fastballs the first time through the lineup, then you introduce him to the breaking ball, it brings a different set of challenges. The 1-2 pitch catches the outside corner, strike 3. Park Roeder, a scoreless inning in the second with 3 strikeouts looking. What a job by Park Roeder in relief. Saving the Coyotes down 4-0. They now lead 5-4 as we head into the third between the Coyotes and the Haymakers. You're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Top of the third here at Palm Springs Stadium. Haymakers against the Coyotes. New pitcher in for the Coyotes. It's Sebastian Jaimes, who currently attends Macomb Community College. Last pitched 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. pair walks in 3 strikeouts and 2 appearances. As that's ripped down the first base line, it's going to be a fair ball for Jose Diaz. He's going to lead off with a line drive single into right. And just like they ended the second inning, they start the third. So the rollover just erases the count, the runners. Let me just go over to the next inning. Guess we'll have to figure out if that's a time thing, EJ, or a runs thing. I mean,
we want to make sure that we're just getting all the innings and all the reps that we can, Adam. That's why we're out here. And then that's a really nice swing there from Diaz with a little bit of deception that's going on, a little bit of a pause there at the top of the windup.
Aaron Garcia takes a first pitch strike from Jaimes. 6'1", 195, the freshman. An off-speed pitch. Garcia couldn't pull the trigger. It's in for strike 2 either way. Quickly 0-2 on Aaron Garcia, the first baseman. Sebastian Jaimes from Trenton, Michigan. Diaz dancing off first as the pitch misses low. It's 1-2 on Garcia. From Blythe, California, currently uncommitted. 6 foot 225. And that's going to hit him. And it'll be first and second with no outs. A lot of situations here for either team to really put up just a massive inning, which both teams have already done. And you have a feeling there's going to be more of those opportunities later in this game.
100%. Cowan already has faced one, and he's going to have an opportunity to drive some in here after coming up short in his first trip.
Augie Cowan takes a first pitch strike. He struck out in the first with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And now has Diaz on second, Garcia at first with no outs. Just trying to put the ball in play. The 0-1 pitch, off-speed pitch. Got a piece of it. It's 0-2. Quickly 0-2.
A strikeout is a pitcher's best friend in this situation, Adam, and if he can go up and retire Cowan, it sets up the inning a lot better for Jaimes.
The 0-2 pitch, it's a pop-up to the first baseman, Connor Meager, who's not going to be able to get to it in foul territory. Looked like he had to play it at first off the bat, and then it was just way in foul territory.
Yeah, carried just a bit more, and a little bit of a reach from Augie Cowan. So if you're Jackson Brummett, you have to learn from that and call a pitch where you can try to take advantage.
Stays 0-2 on Augie Cowan. What will Sebastian Jaimes go to here? In control of the count. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got Cowan to chase out of the zone for the first out. And a big first out at that.
What we were just talking about is the perfect call there from Jackson Brummett. You have a guy leaning, and in this situation, you double up, especially if you're getting the swings that you like, whether you're a pitcher or a catcher or a pitching coach for that matter. And once you double up, that's what not a lot of hitters are expecting in that situation, and it comes out like a big out right here for Cowan.
First pitch in at Carson Ledbetter is a strike right down the heart of the plate. So with 1 out, runners still at first and second. Haymakers lead 5-4. It's a breaking ball. It's on the ground, and Mendoza at third base. Steps on third for 1. Throws to second. It's over Schulze and into center field. Advancing to third base is Garcia. As Diaz is out at third on the force out. Garcia was going to second. As Mendoza made the throw that way. It got by Schulze. And advancing to third is Garcia. And then going to first is Ledbetter. That was honestly a very interesting decision by Mendoza.
Well, because conventional baseball wisdom in that situation says you step on the bag and go across. In that situation, going 5-4 isn't what you ever are taught to do. It's an awkward play. It's an awkward throw. Your momentum is able to come across a lot easier on that throw to first. So, like you said, it's a weird decision there from Mendoza, but luckily it doesn't lead to any further damage.
For now, that is the 1-0 pitch misses. Or rather, was a swing and a miss, so it's 1-1. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Really wacky play there. Off-speed pitch is in the zone. Sebastian Jaime is trying to dial back in. 1-2 count with 2 outs. So Garcia advanced to third on that throw. And at first base on the fielder's choice is Ledbetter, who takes off for second. It's on the ground to Jaime, who leaps to make a nice catch. Will throw to first in time to retire the side. So Sebastian Jaime gets out of the jam, doesn't allow a run. Still 5-4 Haymakers as we head into the bottom of the third. You're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network. Bottom of the third here at Palm Springs Stadium. The Coyotes against the Haymakers. 5-4 the Haymakers, the visiting team today, leads. Park Roeder is going to be on the mound, who's so far gone 2 innings, not allowing any earned runs. He's gone 6 outs, even though he didn't start the game. And we'll face Bruce Sly, Nicholas Basilovsky, and Connor Meager in the third at least. Here's Bruce Sly, the left fielder.
Ethan, can you confirm it's the same catcher?
Here's the first pitch in. Swings right through it, strike 1.
Joseph Conti's not playing anymore today. Joseph Conti played in the last game.
It's 0-1 on Sly, who walked his first time up. Came around to score. The 0-1 pitch. It misses. So it's 1-1. No outs, bottom of the third. Couple really solid PSCL games so far. Adam Oppenheim alongside EJ Sanchez taking you all the way for these 2 games. Try to check his swing. He did not hold up, did Sly. It's strike 2. Still not a cloud in the sky. Just some mountains in the distance. And beautiful Palm Springs, California. 1-2 on Sly. Misses in on the hands. And the count's even at 2-2.
Roeder certainly has slowed the pace of this game down. That's exactly where he wants it. We haven't seen any action in the bullpen yet, Adam, so it looks like this game is his for the foreseeable future.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Goes with the heater, and it misses. It's a full count.
Is his velo slowing down?
It's a full count. Roeder will come home. It's lined past Levi Cook into center field. It's a base hit. Leadoff knock for Bruce Sly. Hit off the bat at 96 miles an hour. One of the hardest hit balls we've seen hit in this game.
In that situation, 3-2, and the best pitch for Roeder today has been the fastball. So an example where you can't come off of it, and he still stayed on time, got his foot down, able to let those hands work. And it's a classic 3-2 swing and a beautiful swing there from Bruce Sly.
Wasilowski will take a first pitch on the lower portion of the zone. Strike one. The righty, 6'1", 210. From Shelby Township, Michigan. Got hit by a pitch his first time up. And it's 0-1 for Parker Roeder. That pitch is fouled off. Still sitting at 87 miles an hour on the fastball. Really, the velocity has not dropped too much.
I was expecting it to be completely honest, Adam. He's a relief guy that's used to just coming in and firing his 15 to 20 bullets, and Park Roeder has still stayed consistent and has been able to utilize that fastball on both sides of the plate.
It's 0-2. It's in the dirt. It's moves to 1-2 the count. Wasilowski looking to reach base again for the second time today. And a game that looked like it was going to be a blowout, it turns into really a spectacular game. And back-to-back innings where team scores 4. How about you top it and score 5? And it's pretty cool.
And not only that, but you have 4 runs on no hits right now. And they're still staying in this ball game.
Pretty unbelievable. The 1-2 pitch misses upstairs. It's 2-2.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. A team is being no hit and is only down a run, and it's a 5-4 ball game.
Well, actually, that was the first hit by Bruce
Actually,
Sly.
right there, yeah, it is.
I was thinking, wait.
Wait a second, how'd he get on?
There we
We
go.
go.
First hit of the game for Bruce Sly. That one's in the dirt. Sly's going to have to scamper back to first base. Alberoni came up with it quick and possibly ready to gun him down.
That's a heck of a block. It's not just a short hop. He has to actually use his chest to get in front of that ball, and not only does he block it, the second part of it is making sure it stays close.
Nicholas Wasilowski, the designated hitter, and a full count battle with Park Roeder. Here he comes home. It misses. Just outside by a couple balls. Ball 4, and it's first and second with no outs.
I'll bring up Connor Meager to the plate, part of the first inning where he was able to pick up an RBI when he walked, along with 3 of his counterparts, an opportunity to do some more damage here with no outs. So Meager's been up twice with no out situations. See if we can add to the RBI total.
Connor Meager walked in the first and was trying to end the inning. It's like a first pitch strike. It's definitely a different approach for the Coyotes because in the first, you were just waiting for maybe a single pitch to come over the zone for a strike. And now you got to be ready to swing the bat. 0-1 on Meager. Roeder will take his time and come home and miss high and away. 2-0.
You know, not a great time to do it right now, but Bruce Sly is getting a really good secondary off of second base, and I'm not saying I would be surprised to see him go, but it's an odd time in the middle of your lineup with a bat like Meager up.
Rather, it's a 1-1 count, and that pitch catches the outside corner. Meager, slight bend at the knees, knows that one was probably outside the zone, which it was. Meager low motion with his hands in a circle. We'll get the 1-2 pitch. That misses at the bottom of the zone. It counts at 2-2. Sly on second. Wasilowski on first base. No outs, bottom of the third. in a 5-4 game that the Coyotes trail after they put up the first 4 in the inning. Rather, first 4 in the game. 2-2. Hammer down the first base line, but foul off the end of the bat of Meager. Some really good battles between hitters and pitchers, and obviously the deeper you go into a count, the more pitches the hitter gets to see, so you would think advantage hitter.
I was going to say, that looks like a lot more comfortable swing than we saw maybe a tad bit earlier there for Meager, still able to get his hands extended.
2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. 2-2. Easy to lay off for Meager. And it's a full count with no outs. Big spot in the third. We've had a big spot pretty much every half inning. There's been traffic on the bases all day long. It's like LA traffic. The 3-2 misses high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with no outs.
Another really patient at bat there for Connor Meager. He never extended out of his zone. He was still able to battle with 2 strikes and gets his courtesy runner again, so he'll trot off, but he's been on base 2 times, and you can hang your hat on that at the end of the day.
It will be Lewis into pinch run. Jonathan Lewis. And we'll have a meeting on the mound. Bases loaded, no outs. Park Roeder in a pitch. Have someone warming up in the bullpen. See if we can get a number down there. So the umpire comes to break up a meeting in the mound, and it brings Jay Scholes to the plate. A single by Sly, a walk by Bosilovsky, and a walk by Meager, with Lewis as the courtesy runner. Brings the bases loaded with no outs in the third for Jay Scholes, who walks back in the first. First pitch in. Misses. You're in the left-handed batter's box. Big spot. You're not sure how many more of these chances you're going to get, although we've seen a lot of them early on today. The 1-0 gets by the catcher Alberoni. Coming in to score is Sly. He'll scamper across home plate, and it's a 5-5 ball game. Bosilovsky advances to third. Lewis to second. And now it brings the infield in, except the first baseman, Garcia, who now will go to the edge of the grass. Here's the next pitch. It's fouled off into the netting. It's 2-1.
As well as Roeder has pitched now we're starting to see maybe some of that fatigue set in. He was dominant for his first, 35, 40 pitches or so, but I'm sure he's being stretched out a little farther than he's used to, Adam, and that's why you're starting to see some of these pitches miss, especially with that wild pitch that brought in that run.
Yeah, it looked like he just tried to overthrow it a little bit. The 2-1. It's above the zone. It's 3-1. We've seen a lot of fastballs that have just gone way high from most of the pitchers we've seen in the Coyotes Haymakers game here today. But once again, the infield in, trying to not give up the lead, are the Haymakers. It's 3-1 on Scholes. Takes it high for ball 4, and the bases are loaded again. So we'll see if the infield goes back, and they do, because there's a force at home. The corner infielders stay in, looks like. And time's going to be called, and there will be a call to the bullpen, and we'll get a new pitcher for the Haymakers. With the bases loaded and no outs, the game has been tied up by the Coyotes. We'll tell you about the new pitcher and more. Bases loaded, no outs, bottom of the third, and a 5-5 ball game. We'll be right back here from Palm Springs Stadium. You're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Like a family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Welcome back to Palm Springs, California, Palm Springs Stadium. Second day of the PSCL. Haymakers and Coyotes in a good one. Currently 5-5 in the bottom of the third. No outs, bases loaded for the Coyotes. Looking to regain the lead. And it's Lucas Alberoni on the mound. Will pause and deliver his first pitch inside, ball one. Alberoni started catcher, so he moves to pitcher. Carson Ledbetter, the extra hitter, moves to being behind the dish. And it's 1-0 from Lucas Alberoni. Sort of a long motion. The second one also misses inside on Dane Richards. 2-0, bases full of Coyotes. On third is Bosilovsky. Second is Lewis. First is Schulze. The 2-0 pitch. Catches the zone. Has been working that inside corner for the third straight pitch. That time he gets the call.
You can tell that Alberoni is a catcher, by the way. He wants to have a good pace. He wants to settle in and deliver as quick as he can each pitch.
The 2-1. Was that a balk?
Yeah, so what happens here, Adam, is, you know, the old Johnny Cueto where you can mix up your leg kick and you can pause and go here. It comes with a very fine line, and Alberoni already was testing that, you know, pretty significantly when it came to mixing them up. And that time he just paused and paused and paused, and he finally got called for it.
So the infield is now back in as the Coyotes grab the lead right back as that's fouled off by Dane Richards. So it's a balk that brings Basilovsky home, moves Lewis to third, moves Scholes to second base. Infield in on the grass. Second and third, no outs in the third. Breaking ball. Misses highs across the plate.
You know, Alberoni still, with his body language, you got to think he's still thinking about that balk call that's going against him, and he's been pretty consistent with his leg lifts ever since.
Full count pitch. Catches the outside corner. Strike three called. A pitch that missed a couple baseballs and a half away from the zone. Alberoni gets the call, and he'll certainly take that call as there's one out here in the third. A giant out.
This situation, you're already gave up the one that you kind of understand you're going to give up when there's no outs, but a strikeout definitely helps.
First pitch is fouled off down the first base line. Garcia giving chase. It lands about in the third row of the bleachers.
But to go back to that point real quick, Adam, when you inherit a situation such as Alberoni just did, you understand that you're probably not going to get out of it giving up no runs. So you're okay with the first. You would like to get out of it without that second. So a strikeout definitely helps in that cause. And when you bring the infield in, you can play for that out and hope that this deficit that now you're facing doesn't get, any more significant.
Mason Rowetter at the plate, facing an 0-1 count. This is just a stop the bleeding situation if you're the Haymakers. And it's 0-1 on Rowetter with the infield in. Blew it by him on a fastball. It's quickly 0-2. 0-2 with one out, second and third, in a 6-5 ball game in the third. A high-scoring affair. The next 0-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike three call. Looked like it caught the zone. And Rowetter is retired for the second time on strikes.
And now you're even in a better situation. Alberoni doesn't have to hunt any strikeouts now. Now he can just settle back in. If he wants to go out of the windup, he can. And go with his game after you get picked up 2 big strikeouts.
First pitch in to Yardley is a strike. Dallas Yardley, the right fielder, struck out looking his first time up. Lucas Alberoni gaining some momentum as the infield moves back after that strikeout. Off-speed pitch, misses low and away. Really haven't seen him use that off-speed pitch too much. Has a blonde hair out the back of his PSCL hat. The 1-1 pitch hits right off the top of his helmet and near the top of the net. And it real obvious what happened there. The white helmet of Yardley got hit. Nearly flew right over the net.
Almost feels inappropriate to say, hey, nobody hurt if you're Alberoni, but I'm pretty sure that Yardley's going to have something to say about it. But nonetheless, a big chance here for Figueroa.
Matthew Figueroa, bases loaded, 2 outs. In on the hands is the first pitch. Garcia ranges to catch it. He can't get to it. 1 run is in. Here comes a second. 2 more runs come in for the Coyotes, and they have an 8-5 lead on a bobble by Garcia at first base. Lewis comes in to score along with Scholes.
I don't think the little slide there at first base was all too necessary, to be honest with you. Adam looked like he had a chance if he just took that extra step to field it on the backhand, but he made it a lot easier for himself and allowed that ball to kick away.
Back to the top of the lineup for Dominic Mendoza, the 8th hitter in the inning. Looked like Lucas Alberoni was nearly going to get out of the inning after 2 strikeouts and a soft ground ball, but Garcia couldn't field it cleanly and booted it just far enough away for the second run to score from second base. This one right back to Garcia. He'll take it to the bag himself and retire the side, but not before more damage is done by the Coyotes. Another 4 spot. They lead 8-5 over the Haymakers. We head to the 4th in the high-scoring game. 8-5, the Coyotes lead. You're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
On to the fourth we go. Dom Tolentino will lead it off for the Haymakers against Sebastian Jaimes. Both 14s on the mound. Number 14 for each of these teams. Dom Tolentino singled and scored back in the second inning. First pitch from Jaimes, wave and a miss. Strike one. And EJ, you mentioned it at the break. The lines are interesting for these teams. The Haymakers, 5 runs on 6 hits and 2 errors, as here comes the 0-1 pitch. Misses low, it's 1-1. But for the Coyotes, 8 runs on 1 hit and no errors.
It just plays to not expanding your zone and letting the free passes come when they do. I mean, it's as a strike's taken, you can't blame yourself for not getting a lot of pitches to hit, and they've done what they can with it, and that one hit started off an inning. So it's not like they haven't earned it, just in a different kind of way.
1-2 pitch from Jaimes is on the way. A slight pause. And now a delivery. Strike 3 called. Jaimes fired up, catches the lower portion of the zone. And 1 out here in the 4th. That brings up Aiden Cardoza. Or I think this actually might be a pinch hitter. So we'll see. But it's currently 0-1. So the next pitch, it's fouled off.
Well, it's not him. Ethan, it's not. Unless it's 37. Cardonia's 4.
As here's the 0-2 offering, it's fouled off. It's 0-2 with 1 out on the 10-hitter. Strike 3 called. Back-to-back strikeouts looking for Sebastian Jaimes. Now the game's starting to pick up a little pace. We believe it's 2 hours and 10 minutes for a PSCL game. So we're at 1 hour 50 right now. And obviously the home team has to have a chance to bat if they're down. But currently the home team's up 8-5. That being the Coyotes over the Haymakers. First pitch strike into James Taylor, who has struck out and has also been hit by a pitch and come around to score in the second. The 0-1 pitch. Misses at the feet of Taylor.
James has done a good job of mixing up his pitches, changing speeds, and not only that, he's been able to work both sides of the plate, and it's caught the Haymakers a little bit off guard here.
The 0-1 pitch, it's on the ground to Scholes at shortstop, who will gather and fire in one motion to retire the side. 1-2-3 inning for Sebastian Jaimes. We head to the bottom of the 4th. The Coyotes lead 8-5. We'll be right back as you're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Bottom of the fourth on the second day of PSCL play between the Coyotes and the Haymakers. Adam Oppenheim alongside EJ Sanchez. 8-5 Coyotes as Jackson Burnett leads off the fourth inning against Lucas Alberoni. Trying to maybe put the finishing touches on this game, nearing the 2-hour mark. First delivery, it's going to be a soft ground ball to Levi Cook, who will charge and can't make the play. This went off his glove and couldn't gather it in. Ruled in E6.
You know, it's a tough call on the ruling, Adam, but the reason is that this ball isn't hit that particularly hard, and it's not completely out of the range of Cook. And the fact that it took 3 hops and he still had a chance to pick his hop, he just picked the wrong one, and it just skips out of his glove. You know, it's not an easy play, but it's a play that if you ask, you know, Levi after the game, he would say that he probably has to make.
Werner will pinch run and will be checked on at first base. Back in time for Burnett. So Varner's at first base. Bruce Sly at the plate has walked and has singled and has scored both times. Takes a first pitch strike inside corner. Seen some better pitching as this game has gone on for sure. Some defensive struggles, but it's mostly not been from the Coyotes. There's a throw down a second's going to be in plenty of time. My goodness, Carson Ledbetter behind the plate threw a seed to second base. Not a good jump by Varner, and it was out by a mile.
The catcher stock is absolutely through the roof right now, Adam. Catchers have never done anything wrong. It was a beautiful exchange. It's a good pitch to throw on if you're Ledbetter. And at that point, there's really nothing left to do for Cook other than just put the tag down and throw it around after just textbook play all the way around, whether it's footwork or the throw and release. Can't get much better from Ledbetter.
The 0-1 pitch misses outside the zone. It's 1-1. What a play that was by the catcher. The 1-1 off speed misses high. And it's 2-1. So it erases the E6 just like that. So some bad defense for the Haymakers. They make up for it right away, but then Sly gets aboard with a walk.
Been on base 3 times for Sly, and we haven't seen if he could potentially take off here. But a good spot too if you're protecting the lead if you're the Coyotes. But now you can have a chance to get a little creative and force some action on the base paths.
Nicholas Basilovsky takes a first pitch for a ball. Wind's starting to pick up here at Palm Springs Stadium. Another power game here tonight. The pitch is inside, ball 2. Or actually, I think they're off tonight. Playing tomorrow, Saturday, I believe is against the Inland Valley Legends. Should be some more good time with a team that's 10-0. It's a 2-0 pitch.
That's been fun to watch with the PSCL players coming in. They've had the chance on their off nights to come enjoy some of these power games. And with our marketing team and what we've been able to do here at Palm Springs Stadium, we've been able to put on a good show the last couple of nights and continue what's been a successful summer so far for Andrew Starkey and everybody else involved with the Palm Springs Power.
Well, it's ball 4 to Basilovsky, and it's first and second, no outs. Coyotes might be in business again. And once again, if you haven't been out to Palm Springs Stadium, it's a beautiful place to watch a baseball game.
Absolutely. And, if you're worrying about the heat, the misters, state of the art, trying to make sure everybody stays cool. The drink specials that take place, the $3 beers to the $4 margaritas on Wednesdays. Really can't get any better if you're a baseball fan in Palm Springs.
And kids get him free on Saturdays. That's a pretty sweet deal. Here's the first pitch. It's on the ground to the second baseman, Cardoza. Flips over to second for one on a first double play. 4-6-3. And Meager is quickly retired to end the inning. Huge double play by the Haymakers. As we head to the fifth, Haymakers down. It's 8-5. We'll be back with more PSEL baseball on the PSEL Broadcast Network.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Top of the fifth between the Haymakers and the Coyotes. Levi Cook, the shortstop, will begin fifth inning, trying to mount a comeback. Haymakers responded after the Coyotes scored 4 in the first with 5 in the second. But then it was the Coyotes scoring 4 in the bottom of the third to make it an 8-5 ball game. His first pitch into Cook is a strike for Sebastian Jaimes. The 0-1 delivery. Misses off the outside corner. Nasty breaking ball that time.
Has a little bit of a slider motion, and Jaimes has been money with that pitch after a little bit of a turbulent first few batters. He's really settled in and has been able to not only throw that off-speed late in counts to put away hitters, but also to set up his fastball early.
Count moves to 2-1. Levi Cook in high school in Arizona hit .429 over his career. That's in for a strike, so it's 2-2. Led his high school senior season batting over 500, and also led the team in hits and runs. 40 runs bat in, 76 hits during his career. The 2-2 pitch, he swings through and misses. Strike 3, another strikeout for Sebastian Jaimes.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. He started off that count with a couple of off-speed pitches and not exactly what Cook was looking for, and he's able to finish it off with the fastball. And pitching backwards is such a lost start at this point, but Jaimes and Brummett doing a beautiful job displaying it there.
That pitch looked like it might have missed high.
And Enzo Angelo's first at-bat.
Yeah, Enzo Angelo now up. It's a check swing. It's going to be on one hop to Scholes. Will fire on the run. Got him at first base. Good play, Jay Scholes.
As easy as he made it look, it isn't easy because when you have a check swing like that, it's hard to get a read off the bat if you're an infielder. You don't know if it's going to go right up the middle. You know if it was hit hard or soft. You have to trust your instinct, and there was a nice first step there from Scholes as he's able to make the play across to Meager.
Jose Diaz bats with 2 outs in the top of the fifth. It's a rope on the ground. And through the 3-4 hole into right field to base hit. A 2-out hit for Jose Diaz.
And Diaz has also been on base all 3 times today for the Haymakers. And both hits to right field. He's found a a nice little spot there in middle in where he's able to just pull those hands in and let his barrel work. At least gives you a fighting chance here in the top of the 5th as the time limit now starting to come into play.
Joseph Roja at the plate. Take the first pitch. Outside the zone, ball 1. Runner on first with Diaz. And yeah, we're still trying to figure out the time limit. Obviously, we know it's 2 hours, 10 minutes. Now, is that before the inning starts? You're not exactly sure, but it's a 1-0 swing and a miss. We do know that, and it's a 1-1 count. With 1 out, top of the 5th. Scores 8-5. The team that has 8, the Coyotes, still have 1 hit in the game. The 1-1 delivery. It's in for a strike. It's quickly 2 strikes on Joseph Roja, who came in a pinch run as well in this game. For Aaron Garcia, the first baseman, who reached twice on a walk and a hit by pitch. That's going to be roped into left field to base hit. First and second, 1 out.
This isn't too bad of a pitch there from Sebastian Jaimes. He's able to get that 2-seam to run over and get in on the hands of Roja, who just muscles it into left field. And all you really can ask for when you're down maybe to one of your potentially last at-bats is to get the tying run to the plate, and it looks like they have. And Augie Cowan can make good and make his first 2 at-bats go away with a big swing here.
Augie Cowan at the plate, 1 out, first and second. Diaz on second, Roja on first. Fouls it off right off the catcher's mask for Matt. So after first 2 outs coming fairly quickly, Sebastian Jaimes just trying to get the 3rd out of this inning. It's 0-1 on Cowan. Got him to chase the breaking ball low, and it's quickly 0-2. Cowan struggled. 2 strikeout swings, stranded the bases loaded in the first, stranded first and second, no outs in the 3rd. In an inning that the Haymakers couldn't push across another run. He's down 0-2 as Cowan. Takes a pitch right down the middle, strike 3 called. Sebastian Jaimes gets out of a first and second jam. We head into the bottom of the 5th. 8-5, the Coyotes lead the Haymakers. We'll be right back as you're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is how we rate with you. Learn more at eisenhowerhealth.org/awards.
Jay Scholze will lead off for the Coyotes in the bottom of the 5th. The shortstop face Lucas Alberoni again for another inning of work. First pitch squares around a bunt, pulls back, takes the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Two walks for Scholes. 0-1. Away from the zone, it's 1-1. Counts even. Bottom of the fifth. That ball is cracked into center field. James Taylor's on the move. That's way over his head. It might roll all the way to the wall. Scholes will hit second. He's rounding for third. He's going to be in easily with a lead-off triple. Jay Scholes, have a day.
He's already picked up a couple of RBIs. I mean, he's scored twice. And, Adam, this is a pitch that's just right over the heart of the plate. He takes his best swing of the day. And you can't say he doesn't try to do too much, but he just puts a good barrel on a pitch and just let, the ball do the rest of the work. It's a leadoff triple that's going to get the Coyotes in business.
So down just 90 feet away with no outs for Dane Richards. Brings the infield back in for the Haymakers. Pitch is a good one, a breaking ball from Alberoni. Catches the outside half for a strike. It's up the middle back to Alberoni, who's going to flip on to first in time. No advancement by Scholes.
It looks like we have a pinch hitter coming up. Toronto's going to get his first chance. He's done a little bit of pinch running today, and he's going to have an opportunity to swing it here, Adam.
Yeah, Lucas Tirado will swing through the first pitch, strike one. Mason Rowetter struck out twice. Tirado's going to get his shot, the lefty. Comes to the play on 0-1. It's quickly 0-2.
Alberoni's starting to pick up his pace just a little bit, Adam. He knows that this is really crunch time, that another run certainly would be way more difficult to come back from for his offense.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. This is high and away, ball one. It's 1-2. Here's the next pitch to Tirado. Catches the outside corner, strike three. A pitch that was off the plate, and Tirado strikes out looking. So the runner at third now stays put, and there's two outs. Brings up Dallas Yardley. It's Christian Arriola, the pinch hitter, and he'll tag the first ball to center. Taylor will go back and now come in. It's going to fall in front of him. It's a base hit. Boy, Taylor just did not get a really good read on that. His first two steps back gave him no chance to catch that ball coming forward. It was dropping quickly. An RBI single for Arriola.
And Arriola coming in, cold off the bench, and it's a lot harder than it looks, Adam, when you took your BP about 2.5 hours ago, and now you're slated to go hit. And the one thing you want to do in that situation is get your swing off early, and that's exactly what Arriola does, and just deposits it into center field, adds a huge insurance run for the Coyotes.
There's the first one to Figueroa. Signed inside for a ball. His count is now 2-0, actually. Next pitch misses in the same spot. It's 3-0. Quickly on Figueroa. And it's ball four. And another runner aboard for the Coyotes with the walk. Well, there's been 2 hits in the inning. So now 3 for the game. 1 coming in to the 5th. And now they have 3. go back up to the top of the lineup for Dominic Mendoza. With the first pitch from Alberoni down the center of the plate, strike one. First and second, 2 outs. The 1-strike pitch, it's outside. Good catch by Ledbetter. Not letting that one get away from him.
You've seen your offense put up a 5 spot rather quickly back in the second, so you know the offense is capable of it, Adam, but if you're Lucas Alberoni right now, getting this out becomes all the more important.
Pickoff back to second, not in time. Good pickoff play put on to try to get off Areola. Figueroa's on first. Ariel on second. Next pitch is in the zone for a strike. It's 1-2. Coyotes and Haymakers. Coyotes lead by a score of 9-5. The next pitch swings right through it. Mendoza strikes out swing. Alberoni picks up 2 more strikeouts in the inning, but the Coyotes push 1 more across thanks to a leadoff triple by Jay Scholes and an RBI pinch hit single by Areola. We head to the 6th. Coyotes lead 9-5. You're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
Welcome back to Palm Springs Stadium, top of the 6th. Carson Ledbetter will lead off against Sebastian Jaimes, as you can see.
I'm curious to see how this zone is going to expand in this inning, Adam.
No umpires on the field, so what is this, swing away? I've never seen this. There are no umpires on the field.
Oh, do I love summer baseball.
What if one of the coaches is just going to get behind and call balls and strikes? They don't really have the gear on, though. It's off speed. It's 0-2. You do hope our umpires are okay. Maybe it's the heat.
Do you know if we're operating on the honor system?
The 0-2 pitch. It's taken high. See, why can't you just go behind and call, strike 3?
I don't know. Jackson Brummett's being a good sportsman right now. I would personally had that there.
I mean, you got to swing it like most pitches near the zone if you're Ledbetter, right?
You would think.
It's now 2-2. I mean, I can't believe this. This is. Yeah, I mean, technically, Ethan Gamolka up here as TrackMan, so I mean, that is like the most definitive zone. I mean, so here comes the 2-2 pitch, an off-speed pitch. It's hit on to left field. Sly will go near it. It's in fair territory. It's a fair ball. Wow, I didn't think that was going to land in fair territory, neither did you, EJ, based on your facial expression.
I didn't, but now Ledbetter has turned this whole situation into a 2-hit day for him.
2-hit day has also reached on fielder's choice, and it brings up Lucas Alberoni. Will ground at the third. Over to second for one. On to first. Not in time. Looks like both of the coaches are calling, fair foul, safe out. Obviously, they can't call balls and strikes because they don't have the gear, but, I mean, this is a really interesting strategy, but it's a fielder's choice. It goes 5-4. Figueroa hesitated.
And P.J. Tokushima was the one that came in on that pinch hit, so Tokushima finally gets in on the action.
Oh, yes, Tokushima subbed in for Alberoni. Wow. Dom Tolentino is up, though, and strike one. Once again, you're probably not taking any pitches. We don't have an umpire on the field. It's a breaking ball. It's popped up on the infield. Meager and foul territory. Makes the catch for the second out. And you got to assume this is going 6 innings based on the 2-hour, 10-minute time limit. We're at 2:20 right now. And we also have no umpires on the field, so I think that could create some controversy. But it's a 9-5 game. It's the PSCL. It's obviously not, the national championship or anything of that magnitude.
Don't say that to these guys out here, Adam.
Oh,
they're still going.
I agree, but it's not like their life depends on this game.
Of course.
That's a ground ball, and it ends up hitting the runner, B.J. Tokushima, and that ends the game. Wow, a wacky game ends with no umpires and a runner hit going to second. 9-5, the Coyotes take down the Haymakers. What a game we saw here today, EJ.
I mean, it starts off with 4 runs on no hits. I mean, we didn't know if we could get any better than that, but, the Haymakers answered back, made it a 5-4 game, and then the insurance runs that the Coyotes were able to tack on, just led to it. And you have to give a lot of credit to Sebastian Jaimes out of the bullpen for the Coyotes today. He was spectacular in relief of Mar, and he's going to be your winning pitcher today. Unfortunately, after coming and settling down a game, Park Roeder is unfortunately going to take the loss for the Haymakers.
Well, we saw 2 great games today. The final score of this one, the Coyotes 9, the Haymakers 5. It was started off with a 4-run inning by the Coyotes in the bottom of the first, followed by a 5-run top of the second for the Haymakers. Coyotes then answered right back in the bottom of the third with 4, and they go on to win 9-5. Final lines, Haymakers, 5 runs on 8 hits, 3 errors. The Coyotes, 9 runs, 0 errors, and 2 hits.
9 runs on 2 hits is not a stat line that you see every day, Adam, but you never know what you're going to see when you're playing down here in the PSCL. And, of course, me and you look forward to calling more of these games. And, we'll be here all summer long trying to find some good baseball to watch. And you're not going to find much better baseball in the country than right here in Palm Springs.
Right here at Palm Springs Stadium from Palm Springs, California. For our entire crew, our analyst, Ethan Gamolka, color commentator, EJ Sanchez. I'm Adam Oppenheim saying Have a great rest of your day here from Palm Springs Stadium. Again, the Coyotes 9, Haymakers 5. We'll be back for PSEL tomorrow for a couple games in action. You've been watching PSEL Baseball on the PSEL Broadcasting Network. Have a great day.
Building your business is no small